All right, guys. Good day once again, and welcome to another meeting. It's been a while that we met, and we are making progress in our product design journey. So, really, these are the goals for this particular learning curve. So, I want us to become proficient in the fundamentals of digital product design. That's why we are starting from the foundation. That's why we are starting from the fundamental, the basics. I also want us to build on that foundation and have a good or solid backing in both user interface, user experience, and then the business of design, because this is what makes up like a product designer, someone that is skilled in UI, skilled in UX, and then understand like the business part of design, like how it relates to fulfilling business goals, relating with other stakeholders, and also we should have some fun while doing it too, basically, while learning. And that's why I sent those resources for us to go through. They're supposed to help us to understand what we have covered so far. All right, so for our learning outlines, we are going to recap on that Google UX course, like I was asking if we had gone through it. So Aisha, can you just tell me what have you learned in maybe say in 2 or 3 minutes so far? What have you learned from the video or from the course?
Okay, so I've been able to through the course they gave some insight into what the course would be covering. Additionally, they also shared some of the career paths um in UX design and also those people that you would most likely collaborate with. So for example, we have the career path in design, we have UX design, we have motion design, we have visual design, and then we have graphic design. And basically, they explained what each of those design career paths do. And they also mentioned some other career paths that you would collaborate with, like UX writers, UX engineers, production designers, yes, production designers, and um some other career tracks that you will be collaborating with when you are working on a product. So they also mentioned some industries that you can work with or companies you can work with as a UX designer. You can work in startups, you can work in ad agencies. So ad agencies that probably want to work on like an advertisement concept for a brand. Some of them might need to actually work on um websites for some of their ad ideas. So you can work in an ad agency, you can also work in design agencies. Design agencies, you get to work on different projects at different levels. And then you can also work at all these big companies, just like Google, where they all work at. Additionally, they shared some other concepts in design like accessibility design, which I really enjoyed listening about, and then equity design too. Equity design, equity design basically means giving everybody the same opportunity. So creating a product that gives everybody a level playing field. Yes, I guess that's the right word to use. I'm trying to think of some other things that were in the video. Like I said, I'm not entirely done with it. There was something I remember, then I forgot again.
Yeah, but you have tried.
Hmm.
You have tried a lot. Thank you so much.
Okay.
That was really nice to hear. It's just that
Okay.
Taiwan and this guy cannot tell me. But I would like to ask, did you come across okay, who can help us? What is a design sprint? It's part of things that they mentioned in the video. I don't know if you came across it, but what's a design sprint?
Okay. A design sprint basically means yes, there were some things I know I missed out. A design sprint is when you take out time. For example, you want to work on a product, you take out time, probably a week, or you're just timing yourself. You create like concepts in your mind, and like you just work back to back quickly on a product idea. So it's like you're giving yourself a time to work on something, and most times you get to just create concepts and designs I think will work. And during the sprint you can also see the things that you want, that you like, the things that you do not like. It's kind of like a, I don't know what the right word is, but it's like you're trying to push yourself to quickly work on something. So different ideas are coming, and then you're trying out different things. I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly, but I think that is what the design sprint is.
All right, you're correct. So, once again, thank you. That means like you were following the video. I would have wanted us to like spend more time to discuss, but it looks like you're the one who is answering. So maybe we'll just move forward. But yeah, a design sprint is like a time that is set apart to brainstorm around a particular design problem. So maybe at work they say, okay, or yeah, not even just at work, like it happens even normally, like in life, like maybe there's a problem and you just said I some time to, okay, what's the cause? How can we solve it? Who are the people that needs to help me solve it? And just planning around it. And they explain in detail how to like go around the design sprint, how that you plan, document, you inform people, find a safe space, bring like set your ground rules, okay, no phones, and then just help everybody to ideate. Bring people like that have like diverse, you get have diverse skills, not just designers instead. In some bigger companies, they bring like everybody in the product team, like developers, like engineers, even product managers, and even designers, and other stakeholders too. And everybody comes together to brainstorm to what's the word, find a particular like solution to a particular design problem. And after they are done with all those things, they quickly like ideate, draw up some prototypes or some wireframes, sorry, turn them to prototypes, test, and then see where they are failing, see where they are getting it right. Basically make like you get forward moving decisions. And then after there's also a retrospective to like look at what went wrong, look at what went right, and make your learnings basically so you can move forward. So yeah, that's like so far. Next week again, we'll be starting recapping like the Google course because it's very important. Also, for people that joined last week, we looked at Introduction to Digital Product Design. So, and that's why the assignment for last week was talking about, okay, what app or do you use? How does it make you feel? We looked at all that in detail, at least last week. And then for this week, we looked at Introduction to Color and Typography, and I gave us like the assignments that we had. Thankfully, like a lot of us like attempted it, and so I'm just recapping what you have learned for this week. So that's how we'll probably run. You first have to go and study yourself, and then when we meet like this, we'll just look at it. So first of all, before like I start, like you get the class, does anybody like have any issues with color and typography so far, or do we understand at least the basics or the concept of color and typography? I'm asking a question. Oh.
From my end, from my end, no, I don't have any questions. At least I understand the basics of it.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay, Zion. I can't really get feedback from Zion. All right. So I'll just continue. So I also mentioned that last week that we should try to look at a particular design system. I don't know if anybody checked it out. Did we look at it? I sent a link to a particular design system, Carbon. Did anybody look at it? This particular resource.
Oh, I must admit it. I did not see. I always. Oh, I missed it. I did not check it out. I'll go and look for the link.
All right. Okay. So we are going to do like some practical today, and just to explain what you have actually learned. So I mentioned that color and typography, like, okay, apart from that one too. How many of us actually read like the Medium article? Because so I don't like repeat what we have actually learned. Did anybody go through the Medium article because it's like what we are going to discuss? I'm asking a question too. Please feedback. Medium article that we published. Did anybody check the write-up for? Let me go to it. Did anybody check the write-up on color and typography week 2? Because I told us to actually go through this. So did anybody go through this particular like article or this particular resource? Please, I'm asking questions so we can get feedback, please. This Medium article that is here, did anybody go through it? I want to hear yes, I went through or no, I didn't go through. Because I said that this was what was going to form like the basis for our assignment, that we should go through it. So did we go through this particular Medium article? Please some feedback. We don't have enough.
Yes, I did.
Okay, Aisha, you did. Um, Zion, Miriam, did you go through this particular article? Because it's important to what we are going to do now. Okay, Zion said he did. Miriam, how about you? It was part of the things that I sent. Miriam, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good
Yeah, I said, did
evening.
you read this particular article?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. No problem. So please, when we share resources or when we share things, it's for us to go through it. Because if you don't go through it, you will not understand what we are even about to do. But I'll give benefit of doubt that let's say you skipped it or you missed it. Or please, our medium is like there are too many like important information that are there that we should actually be checking out. So this is week two. There are different things you can, even if you are just joining now. There is week one, there is week two, and there are other things you have covered in the past too. For people that joined late, we have looked at product management, like we looked at it extensively, and there are other things too that I've looked at so over time that you can actually check. It has like tons of things that we get wrote like in the past. Please let us check it out because it's important for us to know what we are doing and why we are here. We're not here to waste our time. We're here to actually learn. So please, if you have any resource to learn, you should take them seriously. So going over to today's class, we are going to look at color and typography, and we are going to look at color. Although out of all these things, I'm just recapping what we should have, what's the word? What we should have known before, or what we should have learned before. It's not really like anything new, basically. So basically, color and how color is used in user interface, how to create color styles, typography, how typography is used in user interface, and then the last one is actually how to create typography style. Sorry, let me just edit it here. How to create typography styles. Okay, yeah, so quickly, I'm not going to like what's the word? I won't dwell too much on most of these things because we should have read it. What I want to focus on is the practical aspect of some of all these things. So basically we know what color is, how color affects emotions, different kind of colors, and how it evokes like responses. That's why this article is here. If you go through it, you see psychology of color in design. And then from the assignment that we also did, we would have realized that color plays like a very like a vital role even in design. And that's why, depending on the app that you audited, there were different ways that the colors were used. Their primary color, their secondary color, their accent colors, even the style itself, like the typography that they used. Also, we looked at the typography, we looked at serif, sans serif. These are things that in this particular place that we should have gone through. And also things like imagery too. Imagery illustrations, how does it affect like different brands basically? How does it make you feel? So quick one before we go too far. I want to show us a particular, this actually like some live projects that I just retweaked for this class, but I want us to just look at something and so we can understand before we even start like going deep. So let me just bring this screen in. Okay, yeah. All right. So can we see this particular design that we have? Can we see this particular design on this screen?
Yes, we can.
All right. So basically this is going to be an assignment for us, but I want to just explain something. So let me just ask us if you can actually talk. So these are like it's an hero section. For people that joined us during our framework class, we probably know what a hero section is. But hero section is like the first section on a landing page, or yeah, most websites. The first section is the hero section. It's like what people will first look at when they view your website or your landing page, depending on what the case is. And in this case, in this particular hero section, let me make my screen bigger. All right. So there are different, I did like 5 versions, and I want to just ask us. So if you look at this one, this first one here, who can help us? Like, what does the typography like speak about? Like this particular design here. What can you say about the typography, the use of brand elements, for instance, this thing here, and like general feel? Who can help us? Like, what does it feel like? What do you think when you see something like this? Please don't have enough time. I need some. Just look at it like in a moment and tell me like what do you see looking at this design? Like what can you tell us about it? Assuming you're just seeing it for the first time, which is the case now.
Okay, I would, based off what I'm seeing, firstly the font that is used, would I say typeface? It seems kind of serious. It has I don't think it's it has some sort of serif, but it's not like all these times new romance or type of serif. But it looks serious, like, and I think it conveys the meaning of find the best professionals, and also the use of the blue color. I think when people use blue, blue can convey some sort of trust and some sort of sense of security. So if I'm just looking at it this based off the typography and the color, I feel like okay, this is something serious. This is very serious.
Right. Okay. So, and that question, a follow-up question. So, based on what you have just said, what kind of professionals do you think that this kind of EO section, like you will find? So they say, what do you need? So, assuming that this is like a platform, what kind of professionals? There are different kinds. Like, what kind do you think you will find in? Based on what you can see, like, what kind of professionals do you think you will find in?
Um, I think I don't know when I'm seeing. Well, I don't know. It just feels like professionals that are more like, for example, I'm looking for professionals that have like the knowledge. For example, people like lawyers, people like accountants. Those are the type of people I think I'll find on this type of platform.
Right.
I don't know. For some
So,
people, it just that sense.
Okay, who is talking?
okay, okay. So I feel it's giving financial experts kind of
All right. Okay. Just wait on
front.
the call.
Yeah.
Miriam, wait, let me show you another version. So look at this one here. Let me show you this one. What kind of like what vibe is this giving? Okay, let me compare it to this one actually. So look at these two here. Let me drag them separately and just show you something. Come okay, yeah, let me isolate this ones. All right, so now looking at these two together now, what kind of vibe is it giving and why? Miriam is you.
Mm, okay. So the first one is giving serious corporate and financial expert kind of platform. Then the other one is giving entertainment and looking into the entertainment, then looking into the younger generation kind of platform. I don't know if that makes sense.
Okay, it does make sense. Matthew, are you here? Do you want to help us out? Okay, I'm not sure it's on the call.
Yeah. No, no, I'm on the call. Sorry about it. There was quite noisy detail where I was going. So basically, for me, the first one seems more of yeah, exactly what you said. Sales firm like when we talk about all these big things, it feels like a firm like kind of team, serious corporate people that do not joke around. While the other one is also though they are trying to though what they do is serious, they are trying to appear more friendly and more, I would say, more jovial and more friendly. The business they do is serious, but they want you to be able to approach them. I think they want to feel like their employees wear button shirts, like t-shirts, while wearing button shirt on top of it. You know the way some of those Google employees look in the video instead of just only suits. So that's what I actually think the difference is between the two of them.
Okay, can you speak about the typography? Like, what can you see with the typography?
Okay, I would zooming in for typography. Typography is it's basically the same.
It's actually the
They're
same.
actually using yes, it's actually the same typography. The only thing that gave it a different feel is the color and the use of image.
Okay, can you talk about the color? Okay, I think you're spoken about it, have you?
Yes, the color with I didn't talk about the color, but basically for colors, we already all know that blue is for sales-minded organizations, since it basically means being secure and trend. It's already been used by top top serious platforms. Everybody already trusts. When you see blue, you already trust it. You understand? When you want to when people want to appear serious and like they want you to trust them, you understand? We've been in the game before, something like that. You always go with blue. So blue gives that sales kind of look. You even notice that when people get suits, they don't get more than blue, black, and ash. It's basically the blue is already part of this sales look. While we all know that orange has always been associated with fun colors, happy colors, friendly colors. No matter how you use orange, no matter the shade, it will still always appear more friendly than blue. It's a happy color. So that's basically one of the things that actually made the two hero pages look different. And we know that the upper one is using real people image, while the other one is using avatar versions of those real people. So they are just basically trying to appear that okay, we are still jovial. You can speak to us more in a casual manner. So I think that's basically the difference between the two of them. Typography is the same, just
Thank you.
use of the image and the color use.
Thank you so much. Okay, so let's go here. Let's look at this one now. So in this kind of case now, who can help us? Zaran, can you speak now? Okay, I'm not sure you can speak. All right. Miriam, what do you think about this particular like this version? What does it like? What do you think when you see it? Does it what feel does it give you when you see this particular one?
Okay, so the color and the character is giving a remote worker.
Okay, what can you say about the brand?
So
What does it feel like? I mean the branding.
about the what?
The branding.
Oh, okay. The
Or the elements
branding.
or the brand elements, that's what I mean.
Okay, the brand element. It's kind of professional, but not that serious. And it is also giving a remote worker and a tech kind of branding.
Okay, thank you. All right, so this is I did like two other versions. If you look at this one here, there's one on top here. Let me just zoom in. So really, okay, let me ask Aisha, what do you think? Like, okay, let me isolate these two first of all, so that we just see them. Let me bring them somewhere else. All right, so let me put them side by side so that it makes sense. So Aisha, are you on the call, Abby? Please help me. What do you think about like what does he speak to like these two different? What can you say about the branding, or what can you say about the design? Like, what do you feel when you see?
Okay, based on the first one, the one on the left, it looks more serious. It's just like something like service oriented, especially with the type of image that is used. It's showing like, okay, you can rely on me. And also the based of like the input field and the button, it looks the radius around them is very serious, like they're sharp. So compared to the one on the right, the imagery that is used is kind of more playful. I don't know. Also, the colors, it just looks like something that is playful, and also the radius around the input field. So, it's more like something that is friendly. So it's not like the one on the left. Hi, we cannot hear you. Abi, it's only me that cannot hear you.
Oh, sorry. I was on mute. Okay, so yeah, thank you for like what you said. Like she has said, when you see things like sharp radius, sorry, like sharp corners, sorry, and then no use of corner radius, most times it's pointing to like a more serious, you get kind of brand feel in that sense. And also use of illustrations. I mentioned that when you see brands use illustrations instead of images, most times they want to play on that, they want to be on that playful side. That's why they use like images instead of using normal like image, they use illustrations. So they want to play on like the playful side. That's why they will most likely spend more time with images than using like illustrations. And I mentioned from the assignment that we did that it's easier to, what's the word, depending on the brand that you audited, you can either have seen that they use illustrations or they use images. Most times they rarely blend the two of them together. They probably just pick one of them. So you can see that all these things are deliberate. The reason why you can say what you're saying is because that is what I want you to say, or that's what I want you to see. That's why I use different kind of images, different kind of layouts, different kind of perception. Like she said, when you see like rounded corners, you can see this is more playful. Even the use of images, you can see this illustration. It's just showing that it's more playful. And also, like what Miriam said, some of the pictures also tell you what to expect. For instance, saying this kind of person, you probably know that this is like a tech bro kind of whatever. Because why? This is the image that is used here compared to this one that is here. You know that this one you're probably looking for like a professional, like maybe let's say finance or auditor, all this kind of stuff. But then look at this one here, you can see that it's most likely maybe a tech bro, or you get maybe all these, yes, data analysts, engineers, those kind of roles. That's what you see using this kind of, you get, images. So yeah, that's what brand makes us feel. So first of all, we have one assignment, and our assignment is that I want us to do like a simple like hero section, like what I just did, and feel free to use any heading, like any industry, anything basically, any industry, and use like, feel free to use images or typography and explain your reason behind it. So, for instance, in this case now, we have explained the reason why I use them, and that's actually the reason. When I use avatar, I mean, so when I use like all this 3D whatever, like Matthew said, is also professional, but because of the color I used and this kind of like, you get, 3D whatever, it just shows that they are less serious. Plus, like Miriam said, if you look at these guys, they look like all these old people kind of whatever, like their target audience. So I'm saying that I want us to work on a simple hero section, and I want us to explain the reason for our design choices. Like, why did you use, for instance, this is a serif. This is not a sans serif, this is a serif. And serif just means that it's used for like more, what's the word? For like more professional, more serious kind of whatever, compared to the other ones that are like sans serif, like all these ones, some of them are mono spaced, some of them are like sans serif. So different look, different feel for different reasons. So that's the first assignment. I want us to do like an hero section, and then I want us to, what's the word? Yeah, explain the reason for your design choices. So the first, you submit like two images. One image will be like your hero section, this header here, like just something simple like this, and you can feel free to use any kind of layout, images, whatever it is, or it can even be like elements like this one here. So just work on something and explain why you used it. Like, why did you choose this font? Why did you choose this color? Why did you use particular element? Like, why using 3D? For instance, the reason why I use this 3D in this one, I wanted something like abstract, that because there are different user groups, so you will not be able to really say who is for. That's what I was trying to achieve, and that's probably what you understand. So I'm saying that there are different reasons why we use different brand elements in design, basically. So that's just this one. And then also, let's go back to our presentation. So really, I wanted us to look at creating color styles, also creating typography styles. And I wrote here that when we are looking at color using user interface, there are two ways to look at it. Okay, let's assume everybody's a beginner. If you are working on a new project, most times your client, for instance, will give you like a brand guide. Has anybody seen a brand guide before? I'm guessing that we saw a brand guide when we did our assignments. They will most likely give you like a brand guide, and that brand guide will already have everything that is here, to have color, typography, how they use it, images, how it's supposed to be, illustrations, icons, patterns, a lot of things. For okay, let me first ask you, so I don't assume. Have we like worked with a brand guide before? Has anybody worked with a brand guide? Have you seen what a brand guide looks like? Aisha, Miriam, Zion, have you seen? Okay, Miriam says no. Aisha, what about you?
Yes, I have.
Okay, Zion, how about you? Okay, though, okay, all right. We get our feedbacks, but for people that joined us for some time last year, we actually looked at branding as a learning part, and we developed like different brand guide. Like a brand guide is just okay, just search for brand guide. There are different types. All those guys, for instance, that we checked out, those applications that we audited, they have like their own brand guide. They may call it brand guide, they may call it design system. It's most likely they are very similar. So, and that's why in my own case now, if you look at Figma community, there are different design system. I checked for Slack. Slack has its own design system, or like, well, it's not a brand guide, it's a design system. It's similar, but there are very little like differences actually. Also, Wise too. If you check online, just search for Wise brand guide, you will see. But this is like their own design system, and that shows a lot of things. Also, Linear too. We can check Linear, probably use Linear for tax management and stuff like that. You can see that they have different, what's the word? This is their own design system. It's similar to a brand guide. It's not the same thing. So my point is that they are different, like you get, there's what they call a brand guide. And most times when you're working with some particular clients, they'll give you a brand guide. That means that they expect that you use the brand guide to work on the project as a designer. That's one use case. Second use case is that when you work with a particular client, they will not give you anything. You say, "Oh, where's your color?" They'll say, "I don't have." Where's your this one? I don't have. I don't have. They will never have anything. And what that means is that it is up to you to define it. That means that you define it. You say like you set it up yourself. Those are two different use cases. A use case whereby it is either the client that is giving you or you have to create it yourself. That's what I meant by scratch versus custom. So okay, let me ask. How many of us can create like color styles? Do we know? I gave some examples here, though our time is almost over, but in Figma, yes, let's in Figma. Or how many of us can use Figma? Let's start with that one first. How many of us can use Figma?
I can.
Okay, Miriam, Zion, can you use Figma? I say, okay, yeah, Zion, can you use Figma? I'm correct.
I
Oh,
can only use Canva for now.
Figma, okay. Zion, can you use Figma? Okay, he says I do. All right, MK. It doesn't matter what tool you are using actually. What I want to show you now, you can do it in any, for instance, talking about color typography, you can do it in any design software. It doesn't really like the tool is tool agnostic. Like it doesn't matter what tool you're using. There's color in Canva, there's color in Adobe Illustrator, there's color in Photoshop, there's color in any tool that you use, basically, just for you to understand the foundation or the basics. So basically, for instance, a color style is just a what's the word? How do I explain it? A color style is a way to save colors that you can use for a particular project. Same thing with a typography style. A typography style is a way to save type or typeface for a particular project. And depending on the kind of project you're working, there are different ways to go about it. So if you also went through the assignment that we said, you would have seen that you can divide color into primary color, secondary color, accent color, and system colors. That's what this our write-up was saying. Let me go back to it. Where is it? Okay, let me see. Where is it? Okay, is it here? Let me see. Is it here? Okay, yes, it's here. So primary color, secondary color, accent colors, neutral colors, even feedback colors. So these are the like the main color, like you get the main color styles you work with. There must be a primary color, which is like your main brand color. Secondary color, which is like complementary, it complements or contrasts the primary color. Accent color is most likely sparingly, like very sparingly. If you're using percentage, this one, your primary color will be like 60%. Your secondary color will be like, let's say, like 30%. Sorry, 60 plus 30, yes. And then your accent color will be like 10%. Like, I mean, usage. That's how they use. And then there's neutral color and there's feedback color. Our time is almost over. I don't know. Maybe I'll give us an assignment. Our time is actually almost over. So basically, this is a particular project I worked on. I just changed a lot of things here, but you can see this is like a primary color. This is a secondary color. They have a color for text and they have neutral colors, which is like grays. They call it neutral or grays. And then they have system colors. System colors are colors that are used like throughout the system, basically. There's success color, like irrespective of whatever project that you work on, there'll be need for system colors. There's success, there's error, and there's warning. These ones are like they are constant K in any project. There must be success, error, and warning. Because when you're also designing like products, digital products, you want your users to be aware. For instance, let's say you send transfer and you don't get any feedback. How would you know if your transfer worked? Or maybe you made a mistake and they did not tell you before you made the mistake. That's why you need error colors or warning colors. Maybe something's about to happen. They want to update the app or different things they want to do, and they want to inform you that somebody's trying to hack your account. They'll most likely be using like all these kind of colors. So these are like default colors that must be in every you get what's the word in every design. I would have showed us how to create it, but our time is almost up. Let me okay, and also this is typography style. In the case of this one, it has been created already. Like it has been created. So I'm creating the style from this one. It already exists. As I said, there are use cases whereby you have to do from scratch, and there are cases whereby the client will give you. So irrespective, if the client gives you, you also need to sync it on Figma by creating it as a text style. That's how that one works. And then for the color too, if they give you, you also have to sync it on Figma to create it as a color style. So I'll just stop here for now because our time is actually fast spent. Does anybody have any questions so far? I think I'll give us an assignment because so okay, yeah. For assignment, so we have two assignments. The first one is one I mentioned with the hero section. Second one is I want us to create a simple text style and a simple color style consisting of your primary color, secondary color, or accent, primary, secondary accent, and your neutrals, and then your system colors. I hope it's not too much. We can probably do that. So I'll show us how to sync it on Figma, but time is gone already. So primary color, secondary color, accent if there is, then your neutrals, and then your system colors. These are colors that must be in every like you get project that you get to work on. We can check videos on YouTube for how to do that. Yeah, you should check video. Just try to first learn it because our time is fast spent. I'll have showed us how to do it, but time is fast spent. So yeah, let me just stop here. Does anybody have any question? We have less than a minute. Or do you understand everything I've said?
Yes, I understand, but I wanted to ask that could you share this design system or this so we can use it like a template for our own assignments? And also, are we supposed to write about the products that we are creating it for, or we should just
No, just do
use
it.
it random?
Just do it. It's random.
Okay.
Yes. I just want to show you. I just want you to know how to do it and how to like create it on Figma. That's the goal. So it can be anything.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a real product.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Any other person has any other question? All right. Okay. Thank you very much. I would I
Okay,
help us to
okay. Yeah, I
okay.
wanted to say something.
All right. Be fast. We have less
Oh,
than.
God.
I can hear you.